Yes, here we are. It's the ROBCAST, and this one is called Things Like Sweeping. Because it's the details, the lists, the forms, the meetings, the administrivia. That's what will kill you. Sound familiar? There's the thing you signed up for, the thing you want to do, the thing you're like, yeah, that's the thing. And then there's all the things surrounding it that can so easily take up all your time and energy. There's the stuff, the stuff, and then there's all the stuff surrounding the stuff that can just make you wonder what the point of it is. There's a certain kind of despair that can come when you find yourself drowning in all of the details surrounding the thing, the tasks, the mundane, everyday stuff you have to do in order to get to the thing that is the thing you actually want to do. So here's a way to think about that. And here's what's helped me. I started doing the ROBCAST out here in the garage when we moved here about a half a year ago, 6 months, 7 months ago. And I'd come out to the garage and it would be dirty. It would need sweeping. So I would sweep it. I would sweep it. Like you could do heart surgery in the floor of this garage. And then I'd come out the next day and it would need sweeping again. Who are these fairies that scatter dirt and dust on garage floors in the night? What is this? And so I would get the broom out and sweep, what's the word here? Begrudgingly. Seriously, I gotta sweep this thing again? And then the next day, I'd come out and sweep the garage floor again. And then something began to happen. I went to the hardware store and I bought an old school broom, like with a wood handle with straw, and the straw falls out when I sweep. So I have to sweep, and then I have to sweep my sweeping because bits of the broom are on the floor. Ugh, sweeping about sweeping. Something began to happen. And I've had this experience over the years in several other areas in different times and places. But there was something about the rudimentary, mundane nature of sweeping that something began to happen where I would come out to the garage and I wouldn't even think about whether or not it needed sweeping. I would just grab the broom and start sweeping. So there was the stuff I came out to do, the stuff that is the stuff, the thing that is the thing. And ever so gradually, the sweeping became a part of it. Oh, we're going out to make a ROBCAST. And I would find myself just walking out and I would start sweeping. Now, they're different things. Talking to you here now is different than sweeping. These parts and distinctions are what make the world a world. So you don't lose the parts and the distinctions. And yet there was a shift that began to happen. My dominant lens began to shift from all these different parts and the stuff I hate doing, but I do it so I can do this thing. The stuff you don't like doing, but you'll put up with it because of these other things that is what you're here to do. The parts no longer became the dominant lens through which I saw it. I began to see it as a whole, began to see it as one. This shift, this change in lens from the differences, the divisions, the distinctions, the parts, to the one, to seeing it as a whole. If you can experience if I can experience even a small bit of that, when that happens, yeah, it's huge. It's huge. In the ancient tradition, they talk about drawing a circle around something. You draw a circle around it because you've seen and experienced what we call the sacred. The sacred is your experience of how everything is related to everything else. It is your sense of the oneness and wholeness of everything, that all of these parts and differences have their being within. Yeah, what the sacred does is it elevates the mundane. It's no longer just sweeping. It's part of it. It's no longer just going to that meeting. The meeting's a part of the thing. Yeah, it's no longer just filling out that form, because the form is part of it. Yeah, this shift, try it. Try this. Try drawing a circle around things and see what happens. Now, sometimes what happens is you try and draw a circle around it and you're like, I still hate all the tasks surrounding this. I still hate the details. I still hate all the emails that come with doing whatever that is. Yeah, good. Now we have clarity. In some ways, what you're looking for in your life, what you're looking for is whatever it is that all the stuff surrounding it, you're able to draw a circle around it. Because there's this illusion that some people, they just find what they love and then they just glide, right? They just live from their heart, and so they don't have to do any of that stuff that is the stuff surrounding the actual stuff. They're not bogged down or anything. No one gets a free pass. No one. Yeah. No one gets a free pass from the details, from the sweeping, from the forms, from the emails. Every area has its version of that. So sometimes what happens when you start drawing circles is you're like, oh yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Great, the chapter's over. Now we have clarity. Other times, something unexpected arises. Reformer energy. Sometimes you try to draw a circle around those details and you're like, wait, these forms are dumb. Wait, we shouldn't have to go to these meetings. Wait, there's too much stuff in the way here. And so you set out to change the thing. Yeah, that can get really compelling. So that's what we're learning to do. We're learning to see everything within its wholeness. Yeah. Try this. Try this with the grocery store. Try going to because I love going to the grocery store. Try this with the grocery store. Draw a circle around it. Things get planted in the ground, seeds, and they disappear because they're down on the ground. You can't see them. They're dead. They're buried, essentially. But then later, those seeds come up out of the earth, and they produce these plants, and then they put them on a truck, and they send them to a building, and then I can go to that building. I can go to that farmer's market, and I can purchase that food, or I can grow it myself and watch the whole process right out my kitchen window. And then I eat that, and it tastes amazing. And that's how I keep going. That's part of being a human being. Draw a circle around something as simple and everyday as getting groceries, and watch what happens. Watch how all the details, all those little, watch how it all gets elevated. Yeah, it becomes something else. Yeah. Even things like sweeping can become a meditative experience. Yeah. Even things like sweeping. Yeah. So you got your sweeping, you got your groceries, you got your forms, you got your emails, you got whatever it is for you. Yeah. And this is the invitation. The invitation to see it all as part of a whole. Yeah. The whole known as your life. Watch what happens. Yeah. Watch what happens. Watch what happens.